All right, as you can see, I'm here at the South Point. It's technically October 26th because it's 2 in the morning and it's National Howl at the Moon Day. So let's do it. Where's the moon? Ow, ow! We got a good show for you today. Yes, oh, everyone's howling. Hey, everybody. You know, sometimes the material comes. Sometimes you're up till 2 in the morning and you find out it's National Howl at the Moon Day. So you got in the parking lot at 2 a.m. Howl at the moon. Welcome to Punchlines. I am Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and we are live right here at the South Point Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is show 14? Show 14 of Punchlines. We got a big show for you coming up today on the show. I should say hi to Ryan first. Ryan, how's it going, buddy?
Good. Hello, everybody.
Did you howl at the moon? You can do it tonight, you know.
Yeah,
I did it at
I'll
2
do it later.
Yeah.
I'll do it later.
You seem like, let me hear your howl.
Oh!
Very melodic.
Thanks.
Very Scott Stapp of Creedish. That was very good. Today on the show, he's from Pittsburgh. This is one of my oldest friends in the world. I started stand-up. This guy was like one of my mentors. He is a super sports fan. He is a Vegas story champion, and he is Mr. Thursday Night. That's what I am calling him. There he is, David Michael. Oh, look at that. Pitt alum. Yeah, we can talk Pitt. And he's a motivational speaker. He's everything. He's a comedian. But he is 7-0 this year. 7-0 on Thursday Night Football. So we have a big Thursday night matchup between the Buccaneers and the Bills. And we will get his take and see if he can go 8-0. And also, if you want numbers, you want stats, you want analytical approach to betting, we have Mr. Jeff Parles here. Jeff from Sports by the Book, the program that also airs right here on the YouTube page at South Point Studios. By the way, hit subscribe. It's the Drive for 500. Drive for 500. We're getting there. Come on, help us out. And I think we're going to work it out that if you're the 500th subscriber, we're going to get you 5 minutes on the show to talk about whatever you want, mostly sports. I haven't cleared that, but for now, let's just go with it. Today is October 26, 2023. On this date, back in 1984, one of my favorite movies ever, The Terminator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, was released in the United States. Yeah, a classic movie. T2, maybe even better. It made $4 million opening week and grossed $38 million, but it really became a classic thanks to HBO. I got Terminated out. Can you do an Arnold Schwarzenegger? Everyone has an Arnold Schwarzenegger. I imagine you have one.
I'll be back.
Yeah, there you go. Get to the
pretty
chopper.
Pretty much it. Yeah, that's the best one.
And it's funny. The reason I bring up Terminator is the bookie that David Michael and I used to use. What was that? Was that a Get to the Chopper?
No, I was gonna ask, what's the superhero figure movie that he's in?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, where he's the superhero.
Oh no, that was the Christmas Jingle All the Way.
Yeah,
Jingle. Yeah. Okay, I digress for a second. I went to the premiere screening of Jingle All the Way. Okay. My cousin Greg Nicotero has his effects company, KMB Effects. They won an Oscar for Narnia. They did the suit. They helped make the suit and a lot of effects for that movie. So we went. The premiere was in Westwood, and we had a couple drinks before we went. Okay,
as one does.
And Arnold gets up, and this theater holds like 1,000 people. So Arnold gets up, and he's like, "I want to thank everybody for making this movie. This is a great movie, holiday classic."
Much better than mine.
Having been drinking, was like, "Hey, Arnold, why don't you sit down?" And like that, I actually sat. My cousin grabs me, and Arnold, who said that? You know. Anyway, not smart to do to Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's called Jingle All the Way, and the Christmas season is upon us. It's a great holiday movie, actually. He has to get the toy, the hot toy. I don't know what the hot toy is this year, but back then it was whatever his action figure was. When I was a kid, it was Cabbage Patch Dolls was a big thing. You don't know what those are, do you?
I know what Cabbage Patch Dolls.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason I bring up the Terminator is David Michael, who's here. We used to gamble. We used to make wagers. With the statute of limitations can't get me in trouble. But the bookie, this produce guy who worked at the Funny Bone, who's no longer with us, so he can't come after me. He called me the Terminator, and I didn't know why. And I thought it was like because I was always gambling really well and like terminating his account. But actually, he goes, every time I see you at the Denny's parking lot, I always say like, "Are you gonna keep doing this because you keep losing?" You know. And I once said, "I'll be back," and that's when the movie was big. And I kept coming back to have to pay him in the Denny's parking lot. Can't arrest me. Can't arrest me, even though it was illegal. It's also National Pumpkin Day. National Pumpkin Day. Ryan, we need a pumpkin on the day. I mean, it's Halloween next week. I feel like we should get a pumpkin. There's a lot of sports-themed pumpkins that I saw on the internet that are fantastic. We have some of them. Do we have any of the pumpkins? No. We'll make one.
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll make one. And I think what we should do, because Denny Nagel will be here, baseball theme. Maybe it's World Series themed. I don't know. But
do we paint it?
What's that?
Do we paint it or do you want to carve it?
You can paint it or carve it. I don't really have the tools to do that here, so maybe I don't know. We'll figure something out. But let's make a wager on Thursday Night Football tonight. All right, right now it's the Bills. The line here is like, what do we have the line here, Sean? Is it like 8 for Thursday Night Football? 8 to 10. I've seen it anywhere from 8 to 9 to 9.5. Do you have a horse in this race, Tampa Bay or Buffalo, coming off that embarrassing loss to the Patriots? Who do you like?
Baker
tonight?
Mayfield is official for tonight.
What's up?
Is Baker Mayfield a fish for tonight?
I believe
a fish?
so.
Official.
Yes.
There we go. I don't know. The Bills just came off the tough loss.
They did.
The Bucks look good. Like they're beating everybody's
They lost to Atlanta
expectations.
at the last second, right?
I don't know. I'd probably take them to cover,
Okay, you want
but
Tampa Bay? I'll
not
take
to
Buffalo.
win.
All right, the loser has to come up with a pumpkin for next week. It's Halloween next week.
All right.
Ouch! That's why National Howl at the Moon Day is apropos. By the way, if you follow me on Twitter, I posted a picture of me kind of shirtless doing the Howl outside. That's called a teaser. We're going to show that later. That we used the one with I had a shirt on, then I got a little nuts. We'll show that one later in the show.
Your inner werewolf came out.
My inner werewolf came out. Yeah, I just stripped down. I was naked in the parking lot. I think that's against the law, but I did it anyway. It's also Howl at the Moon Day. I already said that. Ryan was not howling at the moon last night because you were busy doing something fun.
Yeah, I was about 5 miles up 215 at the UFC Apex. Got to see Power Slap 5. Slap
okay,
fights.
if you don't know what this is, ladies and gentlemen, you might have seen this on social media. This is where two people, and this was the heavyweights last night.
Yep,
They
super
stand
heavyweights.
there and they line up and they get a free smack on the face.
Yep.
And you went to how many people were at this place?
It was pretty packed. I don't know. They had the celebrities sectioned off to one side and then general admission.
Now, who are the celebrities that come to a slap fight?
Well, Theo Von was there. A bunch of UFC fighters, Deontay Wilder, Sean Strickland. There were a bunch of like TikTok and Instagram influencers.
Okay.
I didn't really recognize them, but apparently that's what they were. Yeah.
You know, I got to get a hold of Theo. Theo, I used to host a show at Yahoo. Then he came in after I was, my contract was not renewed after 4 years. That's not firing. Contract was not renewed. Theo came in and did it. So I know he's coming to town, I think, this weekend or something.
Well, he was there last night.
He was there last night. All right, I'll text him. I'll see if I can get Theo on the show. Anyway, you filed a piece. You are now officially a Punchline Sports reporter, and I haven't seen this.
You call it that.
All right, roll the beautiful bean footage. Let's do it. Let's see Ryan at the smack
Ryan
fight.
McCormick here at the UFC Apex for Power Slap 5. We've got 4 title fights tonight. We've got a super heavyweight bout with 300 pounders, 300 plus pounders. Let's get to slapping.
Oh, welcome to the Power Slap Arena, live from the fight.
So it was pretty busy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people want to see someone get smacked.
This is Power Slap 5.
Unbelievable.
Crazy Hawaiian versus
The Crazy Hawaiian.
The Crazy Hawaiian. My money's on the. Oh my God. Is he out?
Yeah, that was the first fight.
And he
First
knocked him
slap.
out.
Yep.
This is so barbaric.
Back and forth.
Slow motion. Good replay. Oh my God. And there's guys there to hold him up too. That's what I
Yep.
love.
Yep, to catch him.
Oh, that guy's got a jaw. Bring it. Look at the chalk flying. How many times did they hit each other?
So depending on if it's a title fight or not, they'll hit each other either 3 times each or until they get fouls or go down. Or if it's a title fight, they'll slap each other 5 times each.
And this is females.
Yep.
Oh, no.
There were 3 different fighters that got smacked and their head went right into that podium.
Oh. This is just ridiculous. This is what we've come to.
Yeah, there was a guy in the crowd. I want the lions! Bring out the lions! Like ancient Rome.
Are there lines on this? Is there wagering going on, or are there people in this? Really?
There's live wagering.
Oh my God. Live wagering on the smack fight. Oh, they needed 3 guys to hold him up. That's a big boy. Look, she's excited.
This is the
Oh my God.
last match.
Whoa.
Super heavyweights. 300. The Crazy Hawaiian, the guy closest to me,
Yeah.
is 380 some pounds.
Does he win? Well, we're gonna find out. Here we go.
Right here.
And then he takes a knee.
Yep.
The crazy Hawaiian. All right. There it is. Nicely done, Ryan. And I like when you go out at night. It's not the suit and tie. The glasses are off. Got like an
relaxed.
Yeah, you're relaxed. That's your chill mode. All right. Great job covering that. That is something I thought I'd never see. I love when ESPN does the Ocho. Have you seen when they do and they show all the weird sports? They had pillow fighting. We watched pillow fighting. Wiffle ball. It's the best. It's a good way to burn a Saturday right there. All right. Nice job. Also, breaking news yesterday when we left. When we left the air yesterday, one of my favorite baseball players that we've talked about all the time, this was the first autograph I ever got, was Dusty Baker. Dusty finally calling it quits. He retired. And the story was an exclusive yesterday. It was first reported by USA Today that Dusty Baker was retiring from the Astros. And I was shocked at the news. Not the fact that a 74-year-old man retired, but the fact that USA Today still exists. Honestly, newspapers, Ryan, used to be where we would get our news. It wasn't like it was paper and the ink would bleed on your fingers. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Dusty, happy trails to you. He says he's still going to hang out and advise, but he's one of my favorites. All right, on this day in sports history, let's talk about that real quick. We got a birthday. We got Seth MacFarlane, one of my heroes. Seth MacFarlane turns 50. Seth MacFarlane, who, of course, does The Family Guy. He does American Dad. And, of course, right in the middle, he does Ted, which is one of the funniest movies ever. Probably the funniest movie about a talking bear that's rated R.
Do you know another movie that's about a talking bear that's rated R?
That's rated R? I don't know. Check the live comments, see if maybe Bob Dell's watching or someone chimes in. I don't know. A talking bear that swears? I'm not sure. But here's the reason you always say, what's the sports connection with Seth MacFarlane? Well, Family Guy has with these cutaways, they're called cutaways, where they do these little random jokes. And here's one about betting on college football. This will be me this weekend, unless Jeff Parles helps me right here.
I may have
not that one.
That's all right.
You what? How do you even
This is still a funny one.
It's Vegas,
well, this one's apropos.
Yeah, bet on anything.
Because
in Vegas.
It's Vegas, you can bet on anything. You just told me you can bet on slap fights. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there's a clip. Do we have the clip or should I just talk about it? Oh, we got it. All right, here's the clip. This will be me this weekend unless Jeff Parles helps me. Here we go. This is my favorite.
It'd be
Family
nice
Guy
having a
clip
little
right
extra
here,
cash
talking
to
about
bet on
gambling.
college
Here we go.
football. Yeah, I'd like to bet $100.
You want to pick a team?
No, just take it.
Yep, that'll be me at the sportsbook this weekend. Just hand him the money. Would you like to pick a team in college football? Nope, doesn't matter. I'll just watch the games, have fun, and I'll blow $100 right there. So happy birthday. He's 50. Happy 50th. But Jeff's going to keep. That's not going to be me. Yes.
Minidar says Cocaine Bear is better.
Cocaine Bear is R-rated, and it is, but the bear didn't talk, which is surprising because he did so much cocaine. Usually people talk endlessly when they do that. But no, that bear didn't talk.
Scooby-Doo.
Just Ted talked. Ted talked. It was a TED Talk. There you go. Any other comments right now?
Minidar also said on this day in 2005, the White Sox won the World Series. They went 11-1, or wouldn't it be 12?
Yeah, they beat the Astros. I remember that. I
11
remember
and
watching
1.
that final game in Chicago, actually. I was rooting for the Astros because I was a big Roger Clemens fan, and I'm always a National League guy. I try to root for the National League, although this year I will not be rooting for the National League, which Jeff and I will talk about, and Dave and I will get to the World Series. I'm going all Rangers because of Creed. Yeah, another celebrity birthday today has a sports time. John Heater. John Heater. John Heater is 46. You might know him as Napoleon Dynamite. It was probably the greatest film role of all time. He played tetherball, so there's his sports angle. That's the closing scene of the movie. But also he was in Blades of Glory, where he was a figure skater. And also he was in Benchwarmers, which is a movie you brought up when we talked about great sports movies. That's one of your favorite sports comedies.
Yep.
Yeah.
That and Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory is funny, too. Anytime Will Ferrell's wearing figure skating gear, that's a good show. And then, okay, there's a new feature, Blast from the Past, and I want to talk about it because this happened on this day in history, 9 years ago today. I'm going to set this up for you. Blast from the past. Pass. I did my own echo. Blast from the past.
Go.
Yeah, there you go. Ben Roethlisberger and the Colts versus
Big
the Colts.
Ben.
So Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers, wearing their throwbacks. They used to wear these bumblebee uniforms, we used to call them. So I'm going to give you the game situation. I'm going to tell you the line. On this date, 9 years ago, Ben Roethlisberger versus the Colts. Steelers are 1.5-point underdogs at home.
9 years ago. Andrew Luck Colts?
Andrew Luck Colts. Very good. Andrew
Okay.
Luck Colts. Over-under was 48. So I'm giving you the betting line of a game from 9 years ago. You probably don't remember it if you're not a Steeler fan. Steelers at home, -1.5. No,
You said,
sorry, plus
you said
1.5.
47? 47 was the over?
48.
48.
What do you do? Give me your two-team parlay.
Yeah, those defenses I don't remember being too stout.
Okay.
Antonio Brown was in Pittsburgh
Yes,
then
Antonio
too.
Brown was there.
Yeah, I'd
Mike
probably
Wallace.
take the over.
You take the over?
And in Pittsburgh,
Yes.
probably Steelers in the over.
All right, you would have hit that parlay, brother, because I'm going to tell you right now, Ben Roethlisberger set history that day. He was 40 of 49 for 522 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yes, they won the game 51-34. He became the only player in NFL history with 2 500-yard passing games. Okay.
Didn't he add a third?
Oh, yes, he did, Ryan. Very good. Against Cleveland in the playoffs in a loss, which I don't like to talk about. Game we were down 28-0 after like the first play of the game. We knew we were doomed. He's the only player in NFL history with 3 500-yard passing games. A lot of people have 1. Drew Brees has 2, which, by the way, did I ever tell you I caught a touchdown pass from Drew Brees?
You caught a touchdown pass.
Well,
from
I
Drew
called it
Brees.
a touchdown pass. It was in the middle of a studio, but I called it and I toe tapped and I was inbound. So
Nice.
I consider it a Drew Brees. But Ben Roethlisberger, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's got 2 rings. Only guy to ever throw for 500 yards 3 times. All right, we're going to get to our guest right now, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. No, we're not. Oh, we're not ready yet. Oh, okay. Oh, he's over there. Oh, it's black screen. David, where are you? All right. So I have a friend of mine, David Michaels. Have we texted him? Should I check in with him?
We're on it.
Let's see. Okay. Buddy, I have the link. Not sure where to get on. I think I have it. All right. It's good we went long. But anyway, that Ben Roth, I'm going to talk about those uniforms. I don't know. Do we have the clip of that? Do we have a clip of the Steeler game?
Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. October 26, 2014. Here's Ben. The over, they almost covered the over. Well, they did cover the over themselves, 51 points. It was 48. So that's this date in betting history. And those uniforms, do you like them or hate them? Sean, you're a Steeler fan. Are you up or down on the Bumblebees? I like them too. They haven't
Thumbs
worn them
up.
in years. What do you think?
I mean, it's better than you've seen the Packers jerseys that are
Yes.
similar to that.
Where there's nothing on the
Much
helmet,
better,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Much
those
better
are,
than
it's
those.
just green and
so.
yellow. The Steelers, I love those uniforms because there was a leather patch right there. And the reason the leather patch was there also was that back in the 30s when they wore them, or 40s, it would hold the ball. So you'd leather on leather. I mean, yeah, you were at the smack fight. You know leather on leather. I don't know. There was a lot of leather there last night. I saw in the clip. But yeah, it held. It made it easier not to fumble when they would hold the ball.
That's not cheating.
That's not cheating. The Steelers don't cheat.
No.
All NFL teams cheat. But no, that's not cheating. It was in the 40s. The Steelers didn't win anything till the 70s, so it didn't help them. But those uniforms, I would love to see those come back for a day. All right, Steelers, that's me requesting it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest is ready. And this guy, I can't even call him a guest. I'll call him a guest. But we had a slide up before, David. We were showing all your accolades and everything you've done throughout your career. This guy I started comedy with back in the 80s in Pittsburgh. He's going to talk about the speaking that he does all around the country. He is a Vegas. This guy's Mr. Vegas. That's why we call him the King, because he's a big Elvis fan. David Michael, ladies and gentlemen, there he is.
Frank, it's good to be here, buddy. How are you? Hey, I had a little trouble with that link right there. I was actually watching you on YouTube thinking, how am I getting on this thing? So
Well,
I got it now.
You
Got
did it.
buddy. I'm good. Look, I'm fluent in Zoom and Teams. And so the YouTube thing's, kind of new to me, but not really. How are you, buddy?
You're again. I'm great, man. This is so exciting. I've known David for like 30 plus years, and diehard Pittsburgh fans. We've been to how many Pirate games? What was your section at Three River Stadium?
Section 32. You rember that, buddy. Section 32. We went in there. It was the best of the best, honestly, wasn't it? We
It
had so
really
much
was.
fun. And there was a no-hitter being thrown, and you went down there in the 9th inning. It was Wagner. Is that
It
who
was
throwing
Paul
the no-hitter?
Wagner against the Rockies. That's right. Yep. Paul
I remember
Wagner.
you just called. And
Yeah.
because there was only 3,000 people at the stadium, you could just ride down there and get in.
We did. We were right on the dugout. And I think there was a rain delay. He was one strike away, and Andres Galarraga hit a comebacker off of his glove. Carlos Garcia tried to get it. They rolled it a hit. And we would have seen history, man. And, of course, there would have been 30,000 people claiming they saw the no-hitter. There was literally maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people at that time.
That's it. That's all there was. And then was the combined no-hitter.
I wasn't there for that. Mark Smith's three-run homer.
Oh, really?
I wasn't there for
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Francisco
He was
Cordova.
like, me, I always like, I always like the underdog. You remember that? I always like the underdog. So he was one of my guys. Parrish was one of my guys. Dave Clark was one of my guys.
You love Dave
always
Clark.
the underdog. Loved them. Loved the underdog.
All right, we won't talk
Just
about.
like we are.
Yeah, exactly. We're underdogs, baby. And look at us here talking in Vegas. We will talk more Pirates. This is very exciting. Tomorrow in studio, Tim Neverett, former Pirate announcer, will be here live to talk
really?
baseball. Yeah, he's now the Dodgers play-by-play. He left the Pirates, went to Boston. His son Matt was on yesterday, and his dad's in town to see U2 at the Sphere. So he's going to swing by. We're going to talk Bucko baseball tomorrow. So very excited to have someone, because I wanted to be a play-by-play guy if I wasn't a comedian. But I became a comedian, and one of the guys I looked up to when I first started was this gentleman right here, David Michael. And we've had some great times. There's a lot of stories we can't tell on the show.
No, we can't. Most of the stories we can't tell on the show. But I want to tell you, since you brought up the Buccos, where I live with my girlfriend, Charlie Brown lives right down the street. Now, you know Charlie Brown. It's Greg Brown's brother.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Greg Brown's the Pirates announcer.
Right, exactly. You remember we used to go out and have drinks after the game, which was kind of nice because he was young at that point, 30 years ago. But he's been there for a long time. And this guy, he's just as nice as Greg Brown is. They're just great guys, you know. They're fantastic guys.
Steve Blass, who's a Pirate Hall of Famer, won Game 7 of the World Series in '71. He used to be at the Clark Bar, and we would go over to the Clark Bar and have drinks with Steve Blass afterwards. And if you want to hear great stories, Steve Blass was a man.
He's got the best.
He's got the
in
best.
Major League Baseball.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about football? You want to get some Thursday? I know you're Mr. Thursday night.
On Thursday night, I'm going to give it at the end.
Okay, that's good. You're teasing it.
It's a super lock. Yeah, and I got a super lock on Sunday, and I got a super lock tonight too. And I'll tell you why I'm going to bet him.
All right, let's hear it.
I'll just give you, because you know I'm a over unders better, buddy. That's
you
what
like
I
the
do.
totals.
Usually overs. And I have to pick the right one. But let's talk baseball first. Who you think? I heard you said you like Texas, right?
I like Texas. I mean, look, my dad, who you knew very well, loved the Texas Rangers because he grew up watching Westerns, right? But I like Texas. I like the story. It gives us hope as Pirate fans because they lost. Well, both teams lost over 100 games a couple years ago. My whole life, I've always rooted for the National League, usually in a World Series. But Texas came so close to beating. I think they were 1 out away from beating St. Louis a few years back, and they didn't. And Ron Washington was the manager.
David Freese.
Yeah, David Freese, right? Who ended up coming to the Pirates.
Off the wall, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
think the Rangers.
Yeah, you
I
like
agree
the
with you. I
Rangers.
think I like Bruce. I think he's just a quality manager. He's been there before. He gets the most out of his players, and I think that's the reason they're going to win. And I don't think it's going to be close. I'm going to root for the Diamondbacks because they're the underdog, but I think Texas is probably going to win it, which is great.
And how many games? Because I have the lines here from the South Point on the series. How many games do you think the Rangers in? 4, 5, 6, or 7?
I think it's 5 or 6. I'll say 6.
6. It's 7-2. So that's not bad. That's a little over 3-1 odds you could get on Texas. And Ryan, our producer, has a futures bet on the Rangers to win the World Series that he placed. How long ago did you place that?
Before the trade deadline.
Before the trade deadline. Wow.
Well, what is it?
Well, we don't want to know. We don't want to jinx it. So we're teasing it. We're waiting. We don't know how much it is. We don't know anything about it. But we know that he placed it, so he's rooting for the Rangers. But yeah, I think if Arizona won, I'd be like, hey, great, good for you. But the Rangers have never won it. And dude, when we were kids, Richie Zisk, Al Oliver, former Pirates went there wearing the baby blues, Ferguson Jenkins. I love those teams. So I'm rooting for Texas.
Yeah. Plus, I used to like Josh Hamilton quite a bit too.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
He was a monster.
Just all kind of talent. But you were talking about our old bookie before that. I don't know if you remember. I thought you were the Terminator because we hooked up. I don't know. You knew this guy in Vegas, and this guy was picking games. I don't know if we probably shouldn't say the guy's name.
No.
But the guy went like 12-0, which means we went 12-0.
We went on. We had a week. Yeah.
We would call each other in the morning, which is the only time we'd be up early in the morning, and we'd be like, "Do you remember when he called you?" He's like, "Oh, Frank, you're killing."
I do. It was. I think we went. I think this guy, this service, he went like 31-10 in picking college hoops, and we were crushing our bookie, and we would pick up cash. We had 2 bookies at the time. We were making tons of money, and the money. Tell them about the money, the physical cash.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was going to bring up. And we got it. It was in this bag, and then we opened it up, and it smelled like must and dirt, and oh my god, was it buried next to the bodies, or where was it?
It was definitely old money. I don't remember if we checked the dates, but it's still spent.
1950s.
Oh my god! And we would go to the OTB. We'd go to the off-track betting, which was what was it called? What were the off-track betting called?
Ladbrokes.
Ladbrokes, yeah, Ladbrokes. I don't know why an off-track betting company would put the word broke in the name, Ladbrokes. So you would go there and get. But we went there with like thousands in our pocket, right? And we were just having a good time. And we would wheel horses, where you bet one horse against the field, and we would do these crazy bets. And we made a lot. We make a lot of money. We lost a lot of money, but that's what you do.
We did, and I remember the wins. You don't remember the wins as much as you do as those tough losses.
You remember the
I
losses?
remember the Monday night game. We were using it for a bailout, and you said, "Well, why wouldn't Buffalo win in Buffalo?" I remember you saying that to me, and then we found out why.
Well, I have Buffalo tonight with Ryan. I have a bet with Ryan tonight on the Bills, so I need Buffalo tonight again. And yeah,
You're
hopefully.
taking the Bills. Well, I'll get to my pick, and I'll tell you why Buffalo. Buffalo, I think, is going to win on the money line. The only thing that scares me about this game, and I'll tell you what I'm going to take in this game. This game, I'm going to take over 43. I think it's over 43 and a half now. I think yesterday it was 42, so the money's going up.
I see it 42
The Publix, was it's 42 and a half
Around
there?
there.
Well, I get 43 and a half, out in the East here. Because
Okay.
we have those apps and everything like that. So it's 43 and a half. So it's 42 and a half in Vegas. Probably more pure in Vegas, but it's going up. Remember in the old days, Frank, before all this information was out there, if the public jumped on something, you'd immediately want to go the other way. Well, now when the public jumps on something, because of the information that's available, everybody has all these different stats and everything available to them. They're winning a lot of the times now. I love this over tonight, and I'll tell you why. The Bills need this game. They're at home. The weather's going to be 60 degrees. They played miserably last week. They haven't looked great all year. Couple games, they look really good. I think this is a big breakout game for them. Everybody's going to be jumping up and down. I don't know how the Buccaneers are going to perform. I need them to score at least like 14 points.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me about you taking Buffalo is that, are you taking them against the money line, or are you taking them?
Oh yeah, I'm giving you points.
Right. I took the Bucks to cover.
Right. How many points am I giving you right now? What is the line, Sean? What do we have on Buffalo?
9.5.
It's 9.5 here at South Point. All right, so 9.5 points I got to give them.
Okay, so then do you remember that years ago? If it goes down to 9, I'd be a little scared, because years ago, whenever they said a road team goes into the home stadium and they're getting 9 points, take them all the way. Sometimes they'll win on the money line on that game, but they almost always cover. That's what they said. So this is 9.5. It's a lot, but it's hard to think with Baker Mayfield. He's playing tonight. His knee's a little messed up. But the thing about this, buddy, like 1 week he looks great. The next week he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. And I can't figure him out yet this year, because I've watched a little bit of him and I can't figure him out this year. So hopefully it comes out, at least score 10 to 14 points. I think the Bills are going to score 28 to 35 points, and I'm not kidding about
They're
that.
mad. They lost to their rival, the New England Patriots. They were outcoached, outplayed. Yeah. I think McDermott has them ready. I think they got to come out. I think Josh Allen goes nuts. He goes crazy. Go crazy, Lenny. I think he goes crazy. Go crazy, Lenny. And that's what I'm going to watch the game at the sportsbook here, because you got to come to South Point and see the live action, people watching the game. It's so much fun.
Wait.
Now, we've been to Vegas many times together, and there's a legendary story that we still quote you about. There was a bunch of us. We were at the Rio Hotel, and there's like 20 or 30 guys watching the Pitt, West Virginia game.
It's your bachelor party.
Okay.
That's what it was. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
But it was. I mean, everybody in my hotel room, which today I wouldn't let anybody in my hotel room. But oh my God, no, you can't, because people are crazy. And most of them I didn't know. So we had all your West Coast friends on one side of the room, and we had all the East Coast friends on the other side of the room. We're watching football on the TVs. And then the curtain opens up. The whole wall is the view of the Vegas. Yeah. Right? We have all the liquor we need. I think Grey Goose was big then. So we had all the Grey Goose. We had lobster. We were betting in the room, playing Keno on one TV, because at that time you could play Keno in the room. Yeah. And I want a story about you. And we had these great Cuban cigars. Once, I don't know where we got them, so I can't. And the statute of limitations.
You're okay. Well, it's all right.
We had champagne, and I think a few of the guys had girlfriends there, or something like that. So I'm telling this story. I'm right in the middle of telling one of the great stories about you and I, and probably the Bucco game, or how we lost money or anything. And right in the middle of the story, this kid comes up. I don't know, one of your buddies from the West Coast.
That's my buddy Dave Strauss, yeah.
It wasn't. He like tugs on my sleeve right in the middle when I'm telling the story, and he goes, "Hey, buddy, why do they call you the king?" And I said, "Buddy, look around."
We had lots of seafood, lobster.
I don't think there's nothing that we didn't have right then. It was like one of the greatest things. So he just was perfect timing that he came up in the middle of that. But that was a great time.
Oh my God! And
I remember that. I remember you killed on blackjack that time. I sat right next to you, and I don't really play blackjack too much. Oh my God! You were predicting the cards. You were like Rain Man, buddy. You were predicting the cards. Give that guy an 8, give the guy a 7, give me a 10, bang, 10.
There's those nights. And by the way, the blackjack odds here at the South Point, best at 3-2 odds. So blackjack here at the South Point's great. Yeah. And speaking of the king, the reason we call you, because you're a big Elvis fan, There's an Elvis
Yep.
show here at the showroom this weekend. I can't remember the gentleman's name,
Really?
but there's a great Elvis tribute act this weekend that I'm going to check out. Got to come to the South Point Casino. You got the sports book here, got the racing book over there. Yeah, and we got an Elvis impersonator this week. I've seen signs all week. I'm like, I'm going to see that guy.
Donnie
Let me get back to this
Edwards.
game.
Donnie Edwards.
Who is it?
That's Donnie Edwards. He looks like Elvis. He's going to be good. Before we go on,
Oh,
Dave,
cool.
any live comments for David Michael? Anything going on the line?
Yeah, we've got a good amount of the King. Frank Mergia says surf and turf for the King.
Oh, Merge.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Merge,
he
for
remembers.
watching. Yeah, he was there. That was an epic night. It was an epic weekend. It was a good time. David, we saw the slide at the beginning of the show with a lot talking about you. You're a Pitt fan. You graduated from Pitt. We've liked Pitt athletics for a long time. This game last week against Wake Forest, what a heartbreaker. If you had Pitt, I don't know if you took Pitt in that game, but I mean,
Nope.
Thank God you didn't, because Wake Forest comes back and covers on the last second after the quarterback, whose name is spelled Valux, but it's pronounced Vayer. I don't understand how that works. He starts his slide, and they don't get the first down. So Pitt's been hard to watch this year. Have you been watching? I mean,
Really hard to watch. Yeah, buddy. I watched the Cincinnati game. It's difficult. I don't know what it is. I don't know why he hung in there so long with the sixth-year senior quarterback.
oh God,
I
the
mean,
kid from Pine Richland, Jerkovich. Whatever.
Yeah, it was really tough to watch. And then the other kid, when he came in, he did really, really good. Here's the thing about this game this week, and it's Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame.
The over-under, Frank, is 45, but Notre Dame's a 20.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
Which is usually Pitt will probably come out and stay close to them the whole game. But if you think that Pitt is going to stay close to them, then you have to bet the over 45. Notre Dame might do it just because they need to beat somebody bad. But I don't think Pitt's going to roll over. I think they're going to give them a game. Honestly, I would take over 45 in this game. But you know me, college is so difficult to bet, buddy.
That's why we showed the Family Guy clip. You just put the money up and you walk away. That's
great.
That's how. Isn't that hysterical? Would you like to pick a team? Nope. Yeah, I like that too. I like the Penn. We'll talk with Jeff too and see what his take is on that. Pittsburgh Notre Dame. You like the over. It's low for that game. Now here, when I think Pitt Notre Dame, and I know you'll remember this, we had a coach named Foge Fazio. He was our head coach.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what he did in the Notre Dame game one time? This is what lost him his job. Don't you remember? He punted on third down.
Oh, that's
Do you remember that? The Pitt Panthers were backed up towards their own end zone. It's third and long. So instead of maybe run, he punted on third down. He's like, it was a strategy. I didn't want to run another play that close. So he punted on third down.
Yeah, right.
Foge Fazio. If you can pull up a picture of Foge, F-O-G-E Fazio. The guy looked like a football coach, but he punted on third down. And by the way, the local media ripped him, the talk shows. He never recovered. I don't know what happened after he left Pitt. He probably coached somewhere, but that was the beginning of the end. So every time I see Pitt Notre Dame, I think of that play. But I like the play. I like that you're giving a pick on the over. That sounds good.
Yeah, it just has to be. It's going to be because Pitt's going to score. I mean, this kid just got this job, so they're going to score. There's no doubt about that. And Notre Dame, they look a little beatable. Maybe not for Pitt, but I don't expect them to get beat by 3 touchdowns. And if they don't, I'm sure it's going to be the over.
I like that
I don't
pick.
think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Did you have any otother pick looking at NFL action on Sunday?
Oh, I do, but I got a super lock on Sunday.
A super lock on Sunday. I want to hear it.
I want to get back to this game tonight. Game tonight. I'm going to take over 43. It's 43 and a half right here, right now. I'm going to lower the line to 43. I hate hooks. I can't, hooks are too difficult. I'm going to take over 43. But if you want to make some money, if you bet 100 right now on over 43, I bet you win, I think, $83. So if you bet 100, you'll win $83. But if you take the over 43 and you throw on Buffalo just on the money line, just to win, 100 gets you, I think, 223. So you really maximize. You get like $40 there to maximize. If you think Buffalo's going to win and you think it's going to go over, then you can maximize your money on that bet right there. That's what I would do tonight. You know me, I watch overs because I love them. But the reason I'm half decent on Thursday night this year is I got killed last year, Frank. I don't know if you remember that 12-9 game between the Colts and Denver.
Yeah, I do.
I got Matty Ice Ryan.
Yeah.
And I got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I got these two guys going at it, and neither of them get in the end zone the entire game. The entire game. I just needed somebody to get in the end zone to start the scoring. They couldn't get close the entire game. And it killed me. And I said, well, I got to start paying attention a little more on Thursday nights because it's an isolated game like Monday night. So I did. So tonight, take Take the over. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. There's going to be scoring left and right, and I think Buffalo's going to come out and take it to them. But I think Baker Mayfield should be able to get in the end zone once or twice, and that'll throw it over the
I
total.
like it. I like the over.
On Sunday, this is my pick of the week, actually. I mean, I am 7-0 on Thursday night, but my pick of the week on Sunday is the over in the San Francisco and Cincinnati game. Now, I know that Brock Purdy's probably not going to play. They're going to put Darno in there, but I think it's a system is the system.
Yeah.
I think he can do exactly what Purdy did. They got talent everywhere, and hopefully Debo plays. I haven't followed up to see if he's gonna, but I hope he does. And Joe Burrow is going to light it up too. They need to. They scored 17 points 2 weeks ago. They had a bye last week. They scored 17 points 2 weeks ago, but the week before that he did well. So I'm expecting, since San Francisco got kind of beat up the past 2 weeks, they missed the field goal to win in Cleveland,
And Minnesota,
boy, they got dominated. Didn't they get dominated on Monday night?
Yeah.
So they're home. That usually helps every team, and I think this game's going to fly over the total. By the way, it started at 45, I believe, yesterday. I don't know where you guys have it today, but I think it's 43.5.
I see it on 45.5 on the sheet. Is that what we got?
Is it okay?
I think we've got 43.
43.
43 and a half.
Okay, 43.5. Okay, so it's coming
money
down.
going down.
That's a
Everybody's
2-point
going
jump.
under.
Yeah, everyone's taking the under.
I think it's because of the Brock Purdy situation, but I don't care. But you could, we'll see what happens.
Sam Darnold, which, by the way, when we took when we were going after Mitch Trubisky, I was looking for Sam Darnold.
44,
I like Sam Darnold. It's
officially.
44. It's 44 officially here at the South Point. You got to come down to the South Point Sportsbook, ladies and gentlemen. We got the best line. So, yeah, 44 points. You like the over on that game?
Love it.
Niners
I
over.
love it. By the way, the weather's going to be 70 degrees and sunny, just so you know. You always got to take that into account.
Exactly.
You can't bet the over and have it raining.
All right, David, last thing. Tell us about some of the stuff that you're doing. I know he's a great stand-up. We do shows all the time. But you also, you've been hired by a lot of big companies to do your thing.
Yeah, well, what I do, Frank, is, comedians always work at the highest level of public speaking. And it's difficult. And, we communicate with our audiences like nobody else does, by interactive communication. I mean, a lot of people that speak in business just stand behind the podium and run through their slide deck, and that doesn't cut it anymore. So I wrote a couple books on the powerful techniques that we use. I think you're in this book, Secrets from the Green Room, and also How to Crush It on Zoom. And people hire me to make them more effective speakers. Usually, when you speak to a group the week after, only 10%, remember what you said. But if you get that audience to see, hear, and experience it by using interactive, by working with the audience and using props and that kind of stuff, they'll remember about 60 to 70% of it. So that's what I do. I make people more effective speakers in business.
I love it. And we can find you at David Michael Live. Where's the best way to check you out?
DavidMichaelLive.com. Yeah, you can check me out there. I'm on LinkedIn under David Michael, speaking coach, expert speaking coach.
I love it.
All right, thank you, Frank.
All right, man. Hey, listen, you gave us some picks. So tonight, what were the reviewing the picks? Because I'm going to do a parlay. What do you have?
Okay, the picks. Take the over in tonight's game. I'm putting it at 43. Get rid of the hook. Where if you have a hook, get rid of the hook. Over 40. I would go over 45, and I may do that. I may put a bet on over 45 and over in the San Francisco game on Sunday. Those are my picks.
I like.
And you also, if you think Buffalo's going to win, and you like my pick of the over, I put Buffalo on the money line combined with the over. And that'll give you a little more bang for your buck.
I like it. And if you want a college football pick, he likes the Pitt over. I like that too. Pitt, Notre Dame.
I love the Pitt over.
His alma mater. Yeah. There it is. All right, David Michael. David, I'll talk to you soon, brother. Thanks for being on the show, and we'll be right back. You want more numbers? We got Jeff Parles coming in here. He's the number king. We'll be right back after this. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, David.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All right, I'm here live at the South Point at 1:50 a.m. It's National Howl at the Moon Day. There's the moon. I'm naked because that makes it more real. Ow, 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 ow. Yes, I feel back to nature. On with the show. I just didn't have a shirt on. I had pants. I was wearing pants. I want to let security at the South Point know it was nothing hinky. I just had my shirt off for a second. And it was like 70 degrees last night at 2 a.m. It was nice. I howled at them. That was the tease. We told you we'd show it. I told everyone on Twitter. And by the way, can we punch up David Michael's look right now? This is David Michael. He's frozen, but this is what he looks like right now. That's him watching me without a shirt, Howl at the Moon. Thank you. We got to bank all those because we had Spencer the other day who had the best deadpan, and then Melissa Peterman as well. All right. By the way, thank you for watching the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're drive for 500. We want to get us there. Let's get us there by, let's do it like a week or so. We need like 30 more. So get us drive to 5. And then also, we have a great punchline or a hashtag for this show. It's Punch Frank Nicotero. Who thought of that?
I don't know.
You did, Ryan. What do you mean? You did.
Credit.
Credit. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sports by the Book, it's Jeff Parles. Jeff is here to talk some gambling and some numbers and all that. He came up with Punch Frank Nicotero. That's the hashtag for this show.
Yeah, Ryan, I don't know if he was full of garbage when he was trying to come up with the hashtag or
well,
not.
you guys were just trying to go with the basic hashtag punchlines with Frank Nicotero.
Yeah.
So I just hashtag Punch Frank
It's way
Nicotero.
catchier. It's way more.
I think it's better.
It's way better. You were the first one I think even to say it when.
Well, it was one of those. Is like I read it. I'm like, wait a second, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
wait
right.
a second, this is brilliant.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, like it was just like the half-second change.
He might have been inspired by being at the slap fight last night. He was at the UFC.
You were there?
He was there. He filed a little piece you can see at the beginning of the show. Yeah, he was there, and they take bets on that. It was insane. The Mad Hawaiian. What was the Hawaiian guy?
The Mad Hawaiian, right?
You know of this guy?
I was downtown last night because a few friends of mine were in, and they happened to be on in the sports book I was watching. I saw the Mad Hawaiian knock out whatever the other guy was who didn't know where he was after he got slapped in the face with the right hand.
Unbelievable. Very entertaining. All right. So anyway, Jeff, you know what? I want to talk Thursday Night Football, obviously.
Sure.
I had my buddy David Michael on. He has not lost a bet on Thursday nights this year. He's undefeated. He sounds like a tout service. I can bury your man. Anyway, he likes Buffalo, money line and over. He likes points. He thinks Buffalo comes out strong. What is your take on this game tonight? Thursday Night Football. Pretty decent matchup on paper.
I think the Bills are broken.
You think they didn't look good last
I think they're broken, and we're talking back to. Let's go back to London. Let's go back to London where they lost to Jacksonville, which was I like Jacksonville in that game. I thought it was a horrible spot for Buffalo. Jags are playing back-to-back weeks in London.
Yeah, right.
They'd been there. Bills came in too late. A sleepy spot. They lost.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing more than losing that game is they lost Matt Milano, who again, I'm not a huge Matt Milano fan. I think sometimes he borders on being a dirty player.
Yeah.
But he's a really good player.
Yeah.
And he's the heartbeat of that defense.
He is the heartbeat.
And yeah, they held the Giants to 9 points, but it's the Giants.
Yeah.
And the Giants should have won that game. They left
they should have.
They left a minimum of 6 points on the board.
And then Waller was definitely held, right?
Yeah, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
If you score 0 points from the 1 yard line twice, you deserve to lose.
Exactly. I've always been that way.
And then last week, they had the nice comeback in the fourth quarter. It looked like they're going to escape. You let Mac Jones go 75 yards on you in 1:40 with 2 timeouts?
Yeah.
It's one of those where I've always, maybe it's a Jet fan in me.
Yeah.
I've always thought that other than the game against Kansas City where Allen was punch for punch with Mahomes.
Yeah.
And was probably better than Mahomes in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never bought that this Buffalo team deserves to be as hyped up
Every
as
year.
highly power rated as they are.
Every
because
year.
last year, we saw what happened in the playoffs. Cincinnati had no offensive linemen. They went in there and smoked them in the
Totally.
second round. They should have lost to Skylar Thompson in the wild card
Right,
round
my
too. And now this, where they are battered on defense. And I didn't love their defense to begin with. I thought it was one that just bullied bad offenses. Now you don't have Milano. You don't have Trey White.
Yeah.
You may not have Ed Oliver again tonight. I know the Bucks are banged up.
Yeah.
I know Baker's banged up. But this feels like one of those where this can send the Bills season careening completely out
This
of
could
control.
knock them down to 4-4.
Now,
right?
there's a 10 in the market. I do like the 10. If you can get 10 on Tampa, I think that is way too much.
That's a lot of points.
We may get 10 elsewhere by kick. I don't think it's impossible. I think people are going to say, oh, it's a smash spot for Buffalo. They just lost to New England.
Right.
They look horrible against the Giants. They're not going to look horrible for 4 straight games, right? But I think they may be completely busted at this point. So
This is a pivotal game for Buffalo tonight.
you
It
got to
really
have
is.
for both teams.
Yeah.
Like for Tampa, Atlanta's playing Will Levis this weekend. And they just beat Tampa this weekend. So
Yeah.
Atlanta's got a chance to go a game and a half clear of the Bucks. Both teams kind of got to have it for early in the season. I like Tampa plus the points. I wouldn't be shocked if Tampa wins the game out.
Okay, you know what? Now am I going to be 0-3 versus Ryan now on our bets?
Courtney said she'll make the pumpkin for you.
So what's
Okay.
what's the wager on this, guys?
Well,
I'm taking the Bucks.
This was my mistake. The wager is the person has to carve or make some sort of creative pumpkin that we have to bring in on Monday.
Ooh,
Yeah.
an arts and crafts project.
It's an arts and
Very
crafts
nice.
project. I'm not wearing another team sweater. We don't have jerseys for Buffalo nor Tampa Bay, I would assume. Do you? You don't. do you?
Well, what you call that?
No.
Hold on a second.
Oh.
Alex White, my co-host
Oh.
on Sports by
Yes.
the Book,
She does have the
owns a Tyler Bass jersey. Now the
The
problem
kicker.
is, wouldn't want you to have to. Well, it would be Ryan. Right.
Oh yeah, I guess I would wear
Ryan
that.
would be the one having to wear the Bills jersey if the Bucks don't
Yeah.
cover.
The
Even though I would
women's
argue,
It's a
kicker.
woman's.
even though
Yeah.
I'd argue it'd actually be a better punishment for you trying to fit into a small
Yeah.
jersey on set if the Bucks do cover.
Well, I mean,
tonight.
they've already seen me shirtless. They might as well see me in a tight-fitting shirt. Although I kept the camera right here. No one wants to see down here. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we have a bet. I took Buffalo. This is my mistake, maybe. I let you pick first. But I did like Buffalo because I'm stupid and I always like favorites. So
you can't let him pick first.
I know I did. Why did
That's
I do
too
that?
nice of you.
I know, it really is. If I go 0-3 against Ryan, I'm going to be really pissed. But I already feel, and then hearing what Jeff said, I feel like I'm doomed. I'm doomed already.
I wouldn't say you're doomed.
Okay, I'm
It's
not
the,
doomed.
it's the National Football League. I'm even on a good year, I'm still wrong 46% of the time.
And by
friend.
the way, looking up at the monitor here in the studio, is the Buffalo game being replayed that they lose to New England?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, this could be foreshadowing. And Bill Cowher was on McAfee this morning. He was great. Coach Cowher Power. All right, so I might be doomed, but let's move on. I want to talk baseball because I know you're a big
Sure.
baseball guy too. Nathan Eovaldi, Texas Rangers, -165 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Game 1 of the World Series. Don't forget, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is games 3, 4, and 5. Denny Nagel will be flying in. We'll be live in studio to talk World Series, what it was like when he won a ring with the Yankees. And he's bringing friends with him. We have Hall of Famer Tom Glavine calling in. It's going to be great. But, you know, I usually, as a pirate and a baseball purist, I always used to root for the National League. I do in the All-Star game still, of course. But but I want Texas to win. I'm going with the Rangers. I think it's the team of destiny. They got Creed singing for them. But Arizona, they've already upset every team, and they're sneaky. They're sneaky good.
Arizona's the worst team to ever make the World
I
Series.
saw
They
you
are.
tweet that.
I mean, just based
well,
off.
the 88 Dodgers were pretty bad,
No,
too.
but the 88 Dodgers still won 95 games,
Yeah,
though.
but they had
this-
no offense at
We're,
that
we're
point.
talking about yeah, I know. Obviously, Gibson.
Yeah, he was
Gibson
limping.
couldn't walk.
Yeah.
But look, it's something about just getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, that's
look,
it.
there are plenty of candidates for that denomination. I mean, the Cardinals in 06 won 83 games
I
and
remember
won
that.
the World Series. Granted, that team before the season actually was the betting favorites to win the National League, and
They
just
are
had a,
every year. It
just
seems,
had a
in my
really
division.
mediocre regular season, and then Jeff Suppan turned into Cy
Jeff
Young. But that's a
Suppan,
different.
he played for the
that's-
Pirates,
That's
too.
that's a different.
Yeah,
different
Jeff
story for a
Suppan,
different
nice
time.
pull, nice pull.
But you know, this Arizona team still has good frontline pitching, even though Gallen has really not pitched well this
He
postseason.
hasn't. I mean,
which
he
is,
really hasn't.
Which is honestly, if you look at Gallen's splits against bad teams and good teams, and then also home road, it shouldn't shock you a lot that
Yeah.
he struggled in the postseason when the competition has gotten better, and he's also had to pitch on the road a bunch. But I do like Texas in this series, and there is managers don't matter too much these days, but Bruce Bochy matters. Bruce
Yeah.
Bochy, he's won. It's weird to say it about a guy who's been in the World Series with 3 teams and has won 3
That's
titles.
amazing, isn't it?
He's
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah,
still. All time speaking, he's underrated.
You never hear his name mentioned as the best. I know.
He's a first ballot Hall of Fame manager,
Yeah.
and if he wins this one,
It's a lock.
it's a lock that he
Yeah.
gets in. The only thing that concerns me on Texas's side is the back end of the bullpen. Other than Leclerc, I don't really trust anyone
Can't trust
back
Chapman.
there.
You definitely can't trust.
Chapman is a heart attack
Yeah, he really is.
every single time. Zorb's is good too.
That kid's been amazing.
But there is always a concern when you go through a big playoff run and you have to overuse your relievers, and we saw that in 2016. We saw that in Game 7. I mean,
What's
that was when the Cubs finally won
against the
where
Indians,
where
right?
Dave Ross is hitting homers off of Andrew Miller, who was completely unhittable.
Oh, he was gassed,
and Rajai Davis was hitting one of the more dramatic homers in the history of the World Series against Aroldis Chapman.
Another former Pirate, Rajai Davis.
Who's gassed. So there was always a concern with that, and the Diamondback bullpen is very good. And I'm kind of stunned with what Paul Sewald was earlier in his career, but Paul Sewald's turned into a really nice closer.
What an acquisition by them.
So but I do like Texas. I think they win the series, but look, I other than the Dodger series, I've been completely wrong on Arizona so far.
And by the way, there's a great stat. We were talking about this the other day. Every team that's beaten the Brewers, did you see that?
Yes, they've either made or won the World Series.
Yeah,
Pretty
right?
amazing. Which means whoever gets the Brewers next year in the playoffs, if they make it, just bet them right away.
It's like bet them right away. And by the way, it could maybe it's the Mets with Craig Counsell. I don't know, Craig. Your Mets are looking at Craig Counsell.
We'll see what happens. See what happens. I have no idea who to. I would imagine that Counsell gets a job, but if it's not him, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right, let's move on to the NFL.
Please.
And our teams are in action. I know you're a Jets guy. This is the battle of. It's not New York. It's New Jersey.
It's the Snoopy Bowl.
Why do they call it the Snoopy Bowl?
MetLife.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. So who's the home team? The Jets.
Giants are the home.
The Giants are the home team.
Oh.
And you're a Jets fan.
I am.
And this is a good game. What's the line? What do we got the Jets at here?
2.5 behind us. The rest of the market is 3, but juice on the underdog. Of course,
behind us.
Only minus 110 here at the South Point.
Okay.
So Chris is okay with that. That's just the way that business is done here. And
that's why you want
for
to
the
come to
better,
the South Point.
If you know what, Jets minus 2.5. That's pretty good to me.
Yeah.
So the Jets are coming in, winning their last 2. They beat Denver, and then they had that ridiculous win against Philadelphia at the end where Hurts threw the pick and set up the touchdown the other way. The Giants have actually looked like a football team the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
they should have. Tyrod Taylor.
They should have. What was that?
With Tyrod instead of Daniel Jones.
That's interesting.
The expectation, I don't expect Jones to play. There's no reason for him with the way that Tyrod has played the last few weeks.
They like him.
There's no reason to force Jones back in until his neck is 100%. With that said, I have no idea how the Giants block the Jets front. If the Eagles were struggling with the Jets front, what are the Giants going to do with it? We don't know if the 2 Jets starting corners are going to play yet. Both Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed are still in concussion protocol. But I do like the Jets on this total, which is just, this total is not even the lowest one of the week, and it's 36
and a half. That's
not the lowest, because Atlanta and Tennessee, because Will Levis and Malik Willis are playing quarterback for the Titans.
And thank God the Steelers didn't draft Malik Willis. I didn't want. He's
not good.
He's not looked good at all. They said, but they always said he was the project. He was the guy that's going to need some. He's raw.
Yeah.
But boy, he got thrown into the fire, and he does not look.
No, he does not look like an NFL quarterback. I like the Jets. If the Jets are going to be in this playoff hunt in the AFC, this is a game you win. It's technically a road game, but it's in your building. You're in your own locker room. Fan split probably be about 70-30 to the Giants.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, 70-30. Usually the home team is 70%.
Because you're season ticket holders.
Because of the season ticket holders. I will tell you, Frank. So there have been 4 matchups with this team between these teams in the last 4 rotations, obviously. Okay. I was there in 2007 and 2011.
Okay.
The Giants won both of those games. I have not been in attendance for the last 2, and the Jets have won both of those games.
So they're asking
I have to stay away from this matchup. But the Jets are the better football team. I think they find a way, even though the Jets are trying to snap a 7-year stretch of not winning off the bye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good stat. Good stat. And that line just seemed low to me, for sure. 2.5 with the Jets.
I'm not. The Jets are lower in the power rating.
Just take the money line, maybe.
Because probably what, minus 150, minus 145-ish on the Jets would be my guess in that pocket. Not bad.
Yeah.
Maybe throw them in a money line parlay with another favorite.
Exactly.
You want to go to your Steelers?
I do want to talk about the Steelers. And listen, the last time we played Jacksonville, Probably the worst playoff loss in Steeler history. We lost to Blake Bortles. I think the final score was 45-42,
Sure
something
was.
outrageous like that. But it wasn't that close. We've talked about it wasn't that close. And we got beat by Blake Bortles. So Trevor Lawrence, who's coming in to play the Steelers, I don't know if you saw this, and we have a picture of him, right, Ryan? Trevor Lawrence talked about how excited he is to play. He goes, the aura of the stadium, which only Three Rivers really had the aura. But Trevor Lawrence called the terrible towel, which in Pittsburgh, as you know, it's sacred. You can't do anything bad to the towel. Houston Oilers once stomped on it. Guess what? We came back and we crushed you. TJ Hushmanzada did something unspeakable with it on after a game, and Bill Cowher filed it away. He talked about it on Pat McAfee today. He goes, yeah, how'd that work out for him? You don't mess with the terrible towel. And Trevor Lawrence called it the little yellow towel. He didn't even refer to it as the terrible towel. So, right? Right? We have a pit. Yeah. Anyway, Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, it is technically a factually correct statement.
It is
right?
a little yellow towel. Myron Cope, our longtime announcer, he came up with it and was almost mustard color in the 70s. But it's gone on to raise millions and millions for charity. And every team in every sport now has the Homer hanky or whatever. It started in Pittsburgh, baby. So he called it the little yellow towel. That feels like bulletin board material to me. Feels like they put that up in the locker room. Steelers see that. And the Steelers are home dogs. I mean, right now, if we have the lineup, Sean, throw it up there.
2.5.
2.5. All right, I know it was 1.5. It's now 2.5. So there it is, total 41. And, yeah, you can get Steelers minus 125, 2.5 at home. Home dogs. Steelers don't lose home dog games, but Jacksonville's a good team.
Steelers are not good.
They're not good.
They're 4-2.
Their offense is not good.
They find a way.
They
Frank.
find a way to win.
They find a way. They have a minus 24-point differential.
That's never
and they're
good.
4-2 because, again, the two losses they've taken, they've gotten walloped in. It was not competitive against San
Niners
Francisco,
crushed us.
and it was really not competitive against Houston.
Texan game was so
But, look, when you have a defense of that stature, you can find ways to steal games you have no business winning, and they've done it. Look, they were the better team in the Raider game. There's no arguing that.
Yeah.
The other three games,
Oh,
the Cleveland game, thank you, Deshaun.
Yep.
The Raven game, I still don't know what the heck happened to the Ravens.
They
in that
dropped
game.
7 balls, and we kind of own. I don't want
There's
to say
that
we're his
Trevor
daddy.
Lawrence photo.
What's that again? Yeah, there's Joey Lawrence right there. That's him. If you can imagine the hand twirling, he talked about the little yellow towel. Are we showing him dancing? We're going to save that. We're going to save that for Monday. Yeah, the Steelers. By the way, they're 10-3 in their last 13 games. It's hard to believe.
Well, look, Tomlin. Frank, this is an old joke at my old job here. But did you know that Mike Tomlin's always been never gone under 500? Like that. They always get the 500.
That's
or better.
unbelievable. Yeah.
It's just what it is. And look, you can quip with Tomlin's in game decisions. You can quip with a bunch of stuff. But the man knows how to coach football. There's no arguing that.
Yeah.
And he's going to Canton one day because of it.
He will.
So look, I like Jacksonville in this game.
Okay.
I think this is a spot for Pittsburgh where reality kind of slaps them in the face, where the Jags are a really good football team. It's just a matter of playing a full 60 for them. And they're on extra rest because they played Thursday. But I do like the Jags. I will say, though, if the Steelers win this game, the Steelers have a really nice path here.
2 more home games coming
they
up
get
right
the
after.
Titans and the Packers, who are both terrible.
I know.
Could
we be 7-2? That would be insane.
A realistic path to 7-2.
It's there.
With it being a very mediocre team, which is kind of the Tomlin way at this point.
I agree. It's again, we talked about this yesterday or on Monday when I guested on Sports by the Book when they were 11-0 against the then Redskins.
That was the football team.
They were the football team.
They're the
That's
football
right.
team.
They were not a good 11-0 team, and then of course they were not good. But they're winning games. Chris Andrews, sports director here at South Point, will tell you big plays. Big players make big plays. T.J. Watt keeps doing it. Ryan, do you have anything to close the show with?
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. He's taking the Buccaneers. So usually I would be like,
fire the cannons.
Go Bucks, because that's the Pirates. Go Bucks. And I am going to say go Bucks tomorrow, because tomorrow, sitting right where Jeff is, I'm super excited about this. Former Pirate announcer, former Red Sox announcer, now current Los Angeles Dodger announcer, Tim Neverett will be here. He's going to the U2 show, so he said, hell, I'll come down in the studio. So he's going to be here live. I'm obsessed with baseball play-by-play. So yeah, go Bucks. Go Bucks. Go Pirate Bucks. Not tonight. I got Buffalo. Listen, we'd like to thank you guys again for watching the show. Thank you for sharing. Follow us at Twitter. And we do have the hashtag.
Hashtag punch
Frank Nicotero.
We had some live comments. Hashtag Parles Nation.
Parles Nation.
Oh, boy.
I like that. He's the number guy. Is this an inside thing from a buddy?
It probably
I
is.
see the smile.
It almost certainly is.
Make sure you follow Jeff. Make sure you follow Vinny. Make sure you follow all of us. Click subscribe. Share the show with everybody. Remember, it's National Pumpkin Day. It's National Howl at the Moon Day. But it's Thursday Night Football. And we're going to come back tomorrow and see who's going to be carving or painting a pumpkin.
Also
so we
got
appreciate
Sports
you guys
Buzz Book
watching.
coming up.
Here we are. Punchlines right here, South Point, live in Nevada, every show.